Welcome to the Actionable Futurist podcast, a show all about the near-term future with practical and actionable advice from a range of global experts to help you stay ahead of the curve. Every episode answers the question, what's the future of? With voices and opinions that need to be heard. Your host is international keynote speaker and actionable futurist Andrew Grill.
Today's guest is Muhi Majzoub, Executive Vice President and Chief Product Officer at OpenText, who leads the product development and strategy for the company, as well as their transition to the cloud. Muhi has over 30 years' experience in technology, including 10 years at OpenText and 16 years at Oracle as VP for Engineering and Application Development. Today, Muhi is coming to us from California. Welcome, Muhi.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Great to be here and great to see you today.
Now, I have come across OpenText. For our listeners that haven't heard of you, what do you do?
I am OpenText Chief Product Officer, and my responsibilities include product development and R&D, product strategy and defining the vision for the company. It also includes running our global technical support services, our security area, and our cloud services and commercial data centers.
Now, is it true that the origins of the company were a University of Waterloo project that actually developed technology to index the entire Oxford English Dictionary?
Yes, it is. In 1991, there was a project in the University of Waterloo that indexed the Oxford English Dictionary. That project spun off into becoming a search engine called Search 7. Which started OpenText, and then OpenText got incorporated, and through acquisition and organic innovation grew to become the information management company we are today.
Now, I watched your recent OpenText World Keynote, and you used this amazing theme, innovations that delight. So how do you develop innovations that delight?
Innovation that delights starts by really listening to customers. And one of the things that I love the most about OpenText is customer centricity. The customer is at the heart of everything we do. We listen to their needs. We try to take those topics or ideas or discussion back into our development lab where our engineers will explore how best can we deliver and ideate around delivering a solution at the drawing board, and that then translate into an architecture, a design, and a development of a solution that filled that need that started with the idea.
Now, I love that your customer centricity is at the heart of what you do, but where do some of your best ideas come from?
So at OpenText, I always refer to it as the slices of the pizza pie. We gather ideas from many different areas. Of course, customer and partners are two of the important areas. We talk to analysts. We do competitive analysis and intelligence. Our product managers, our engineers will talk to our salespeople, our professional services. Will understand challenges, will understand customer needs, and then we bring all of these inputs into one place where we prioritize, we put a theme, and then we go to develop certain innovation and apply them to different product areas.
Now, it's fair to say the last couple of years have been incredibly difficult for people having to generate new ideas when we're distributed. So how have you driven innovation during the pandemic, and how do you spark ideas with a very distributed workforce?
OpenText was already on a digital journey. So when the pandemic hit, and in March of 2020, it was like lights out. I remember seeing the email from our CEO and CTO, Mark Berenshek, saying, effective Monday, everybody is working from home until further communication. That's when I realized that we are at an advantage at OpenText because we were already at a digital journey that adopted new tools, new processes. We are a global company in engineering, and R&D is in many locations. And we were ideating, leveraging tools like whiteboards and leveraging conference tools, Teams is the tool we use today, but in the past, we've used WebEx, we've used other solutions. So that gave us an advantage and really allowed us to respond well when we all became remote workforce.
The theme for today's discussion is around the future of information management and cloud. So when we think back to the future of cloud computing, what was your first experience of the cloud and how have you seen it evolve over the years?
I'll give you a personal example. I remember my first iPhone, surfing through their app store and looking at all the applications and the things that I can now do from this small device that sits in the pocket of my jacket or in my jeans or in my backpack. And that's when I realized how powerful the cloud is, bringing all of these integrated technologies and solutions. And if we all remember in the beginning, early days of the iPhone, there wasn't many business applications. But as innovation came along, many companies, of course, OpenText included, started jumping and developing applications for Android, for iPhone, iOS devices that allowed us to take some of the business aspect in our products on the road to make it easier for a user to access our solution, but also to continue doing their work. If they're in an airport, then we started seeing technology evolve and offline capabilities that allowed you, even if you're sitting on a plane, to continue to do your work and then to sync up with the network once you have connectivity back and you're on the ground.
So I mentioned in the intro, we talked about OpenText origin. So it's been a long way from index in the Oxford Dictionary to being in the cloud. What's been OpenText's own journey to the cloud?
Two things in response to your question. One is from day one, OpenText have supported a hybrid approach where we give customers the choice. And again, it goes back to the earlier message of customer centricity. We give customers the choice to choose to be in the private cloud or in the public cloud based on the workload, based on the use case or the platform and solution that they want to use from OpenText. We have 5 very important clouds that we have invested heavily in the past 3 years. Our content cloud, we are leaders today in content services. Our business network and supply chain, EDI and messaging cloud. We're again leaders in the business network. Our security and protection cloud. This is a cloud that is growing for us. Few months before the pandemic started, we acquired a company called Carbonite, which in turn had acquired 2 other companies called WebRoot and BrightCloud that brought a great security and backup solution to OpenText. We've recently added to, or hoping to add to, the security and protection cloud. We announced the intent to acquire Zix Corporation. The 4th cloud is our experience cloud. This is for customer communication, our customer data platform, our team site solution for website development that today power some of the largest enterprise website in the world. Companies like UPS globally leverages our solution. And lastly, our developer cloud, and we're newcomers into the developer market with our API services. But that's also a very fast growing area for us. We get approximately 85 to 90 billion with a B hits and API calls every month, reaching 1 trillion API calls per year in the OpenText cloud. And we're continuing to innovate in all of these 5 areas. We commit to quarterly releases where hundreds of new innovations get added in every one of these clouds.
So you're talking about a lot of clouds there. I just want to back up a bit because our listeners are not always up with the latest trends. Could you just explain what the difference is between a public cloud and a private cloud?
Great question. A private cloud is allowing a customer to take a solution that in the past they ran in their data center and to put it in a OpenText data center where we monitor it, we secure it, we back it up, we become an extension to the help desk of that customer. And we take care of providing them the service, uninterrupted, 24/7, 4/9 delivery and reliability. And they continue to run on dedicated hardware for them alone. A public cloud is when you're in a shared environment and you're using a standard solution out of the box, no customizations, no extensions, but you are running on a shared environment with many other customers who leverage that same service.
So for someone who's still running their own infrastructure in-house, what are the benefits of moving to the cloud?
There are many benefits of leveraging the OpenText cloud or through the partnership we have with our hyperscaler, leveraging the cloud from a Google and Azure and AWS. With OpenText, we offer you several things. We offer you the security, the 24/7 monitoring. We become an extension to your workforce as a company. And we support you around the clock, ensuring the hardware is performing, ensuring the service is secure, ensuring the access. We then become responsible for upgrading the solution and maintaining the solution. You don't have to worry every time there's a security patch to patch the environment. We take care of all of that, and we give you a turnkey solution or a service that your users can go securely in the cloud, log in, and conduct business.
You touched on security. Security is a huge issue for everyone and different applications. What are you doing in that area to ensure that your clouds and the clouds that you develop applications on are totally secure?
Security has become more and more important. Every day you open a news website or a newspaper and you hear about security breaches and malicious activities that happen in the cloud. Customer data is stolen, identity information stolen, sometimes IP stolen from organizations and companies that create hardship for these companies who lose IP, and then their IP surface in the black market and sold to other entities in a malicious way. And we've seen many of these breaches happen in the past.
How can cloud technology power modern customer experiences and help to digitize supply chains?
Supply chain has become very, very important under the pandemic. Automation and digitizing the supply chain and digitizing the speed of digitizing integration between any two parties have become a lot more important. Because supply chain has become critical to the world. Everything is being done via e-commerce. And many of the companies now offer services that it's all digital. You never talk to anybody. You never do a handshake with anyone. It's all done via machine to machine and sometimes human to machine. So the importance became self-service. How do I onboard my suppliers and partners very, very quickly? And how do I provide all the right tools to provide compliance to our customers and to provide visibility to our customers and connectivity?
OpenText is at the heart of what's happening in the world of cloud. So big question, what's the future of cloud?
Oh, many things. Many innovation in every one of our cloud. We announced at OpenText World earlier this year a new product, our core content, that's going to make document management and digitizing documentation in the public cloud much easier for companies. and more affordable for many companies who in the past couldn't afford the bigger solution and the more advanced processes needed. If you're a smaller company, your processes may be simpler. We have a solution for that. It's fully enabled with digital signature, many other capabilities, intelligent viewing, intelligent capture, artificial intelligence, machine learning, allowing you to analyze and crawl the data and identify offensive content, offensive images, things that violate your company policies. All of that is integrated and available. We announced our customer data platform, integrating and give you visibility in customer activities and interaction, allow you to do more omni-channel communication with your customers based on facts. Security will be big. We have many new solutions coming into security. And once the Zix acquisition complete, we will provide a complete view of roadmap integration and new innovation. The developer and our API, every 90 days with every release, we have 4, 5, half a dozen new services that become online and become publicly available to our partners and customers and to our developer community to leverage and integrate into their application.
Data centers use a lot of energy. How can cloud be part of the solution for a net zero world?
So Mark Barrenechea talked a lot about net zero and the opportunity we have in leveraging a better environmental solution in our data centers. Today, OpenText have 40 plus data centers around the globe, and our footprint grows every year based on customer demand. We bring online new data centers. Some are our own data centers, some are colos, some are partnership. As we develop and bring online these new data centers, leveraging a more environmental energy footprint, leveraging hydro and many other modern technologies that are more environmental than the technologies used in the past, that will provide huge benefit. In the future, we will deliver updates to the messaging that Mark Barrenechea has given at OpenText World and deliver progress reports, if you will, on how well we're doing in our data center footprints.
OpenText are now working in the era of application programming interfaces or APIs and now have an API cloud. What's an API cloud?
An API cloud is where we make services, headless services, available publicly to our customers. Instead of an application with a user interface that you go to a login screen, you are now authenticating against an API server and getting access to an API. On developer.opentext.com, we give you a catalog of these available public services. We give you snippets of codes and instruction of how you can integrate, what are the conditions you used to use, what are the parameters you have to provide. And then we allow you to integrate in a testing sandbox and leverage that API and test it against a proprietary application that you have developed in your own cloud or in a hyperscaler cloud. Once the testing is completed, we provide you an automated way to subscribe to the service and say, I want to pay per call, or I want to pay by a range of calls per month, per day, we give you few options of how you subscribe with different pricing models. And then we allow you to put your application in production, leveraging that API. To give you a few examples of these APIs, our Bright Cloud Threat Intelligence, we reference as BCTI, allow you to integrate into our intelligence, security intelligence API. You give us an IP address or a URL in the public cloud, and we're able to go into our billions and billions of databases and source that API or that URL or IP and come back with a score for you, telling you if that IP has malicious activities been reported against them, has been known to have malware, ransomware, viruses, any other, or giving you a green score and telling you this is a safe URL. Many of our partners, Cisco, F5, other, leverage our threat intelligence to secure their network entry points. Our intelligent capture allow partners like SAP to call our API in some of their business applications. Our storage, our advanced metadata APIs allow you to leverage the OpenText cloud to store securely your content from any application of choice. And lastly, our Magellan Risk Guard API allow you to take content. You give me a folder, a directory, a content storage area, and I can crawl through the content, analyze it, and give you, based on business rules you define, if I find any content that violates that business rule.
How's cloud supported industries over the pandemic? Can you give us some examples that you're proud to share?
That's a great question, and I have a great example of that. Think of when everybody went home, and I could tell you OpenText included. Processes that in the past used to require a manager's signature. Your manager is no longer in the office with you. You are at home in your home office. Your manager may be in a different city, different town, and we cannot meet face to face. Digital signature became very important for OpenText. OpenText very quickly responded within 30 to 45 days. And we took our digital signature product, our core signature, and we created an API service that allow our customers in days to integrate their solution into our digital signature API and be able to conduct advanced digital signature workflows for content, for expense report, for any other applications of their choice, contract approvals and reviews, legal document, financial document, many others. And that helped not only OpenText, we leverage all of our solution. We run many of our business processes on the OpenText solutions, from supply chain to document management to e-signature. Our website is run on our own technology and many, many other. But that's one example, and I could go for hours giving you many other examples of things that we do under the pandemic today.
Final question before we go for a quick fire round. What's going to be the future for organisations trying to manage, protect and share their own information?
Well, the future is very, very bright. We are really blessed, and I've said that many times, to live in an age where I remember starting my career working on VAX cluster and PDP-11 machines, where a disk drive used to be almost the size of my TV, and tape decks sitting in data centers. And today my iPhone has 10 times that power that a PDP-11 used to have. So it's a blessing to see how technology is evolving and how software is leveraging the cloud to integrate and provide more machine-to-machine interaction, but also the human-to-machine interaction is improving with chatbots, is improving with artificial intelligence and machine learning. I can now take a picture of an invoice and my intelligent capture can extract all the metadata and with a click of a button allow me to store that record and the image in my expense application for the company. Instead of me having to go to a copy machine, tape the receipt on an 8x11 paper, scan it, email it to myself, come back to my desk, mail it into or upload it into the expense application. It's creating efficiencies and productivity for us that is allowing us to become more innovative, to find more ways to be more efficient in the way we do business, and to be more creative in doing new things that we didn't think of 10 years ago.
I had to smile when you were talking about PDP-11s because I grew up using that sort of technology. In fact, at school we had punch cards, so I would like to think I've done it all the hard way, and now cloud makes our life so much easier.
Fortran was my first programming language, and he used punch card, Fortran and COBOL.
Always try and find out a little bit more about our guest before we let you go, so I'm going to run you through a quick fire round. A quick answer is a good answer. iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
PC or Mac?
Mac.
Your biggest hope for 2022?
Safety of people around the world, so life can start getting back to normal.
The app you use most on your phone?
Email.
What are you reading at the moment?
I received from our CEO from the last OpenText World is Neil deGrasse Tyson, his latest book, and that's my plan to read in the next couple of weeks.
And final question, how do you want to be remembered?
As a human being. For me, it's very important, and it's part of our company culture. Respecting every interaction with every colleague or every customer or every individual that I meet with, respecting their views. I want to be remembered at OpenText by having come to OpenText, spend many years making the company better. That's for me is the most important thing. Is anything you do when you're done and you leave it, I want to be remembered that I left it in a better shape than I came in it.
Now, as this is the Actionable Futurist podcast, what 3 actionable things should our audience be doing today when it comes to moving to the cloud?
First, taking inventory of their digital processes that are not cloud enabled and prioritizing based on importance, based on revenue, based on efficiency impact, prioritizing which process they need to move first. That's the first item I would do. And I often share that data with customers. The second item I would do is put the right team in place to really sit as a tiger team and brainstorm the best approach to digitizing that business process. And then 3, evaluate and truly evaluate the right solution. But evaluate the right solution for your use case for the business and then embark on that journey. Do one thing at a time. Many companies fail because they try to do too many things at once and they don't do a good job. I truly believe in doing one thing with focus, get it to a point where you're happy, deploy it into production, learn from the challenges and the bumps in the road that you hit, make adjustments, and then take on the next item and the next item and the next item.
So how can people find out more about you and your work?
LinkedIn, I am very active. I post weekly. I am active on Twitter, muhi@opentext.com.
Muhi, a great discussion today. Thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure and great to see you, Andrew. Thank you so much as well for your time.
Thank you for listening to the Actionable Futurist podcast. You can find all of our previous shows at actionablefuturist.com. And if you like what you've heard on the show, please consider subscribing via your favorite podcast app so you never miss an episode. You can find out more about Andrew and how he helps corporates navigate a disruptive digital world with keynote speeches and C-suite workshops delivered in person or virtually at actionablefuturist.com. Until next time, this has been the Actionable Futurist podcast.